be spending the night?
Seems that way. Do you have a room for us? At least for a few days.
But of course. We have 2 free rooms just upstairs. I'll have them cleaned up.
Don't even bother cleaning them, innkeeper.
Treadlight. The name's Treadlight.
Can I ask you something?
Of course. What about?
You don't seem like an ordinary innkeeper to me.
And what else would I be, eh?
Oh, come on. A tavern in the middle of nowhere, yet always full. And full of rogues on top of that.
Me? I'm but an honest man.
An honest-to-God fence, eh?
How dare you?
Ah, stop with the mummery. Are you afraid I'll turn you in? You think I want someone sniffing around here? It's in my best interest to keep my trap shut.
All right, then. Pretending to be a poor old innkeeper was getting bloody old anyhow. If you ever find any lost items, bring them to me, and I'll take care of the rest.
I reckon the 2 of us will get along just fine.
I'm glad to hear it. In that case, you're always welcome here.
I have a question for you.
Ask away.
Why is this place called the Devil's Den?
Why do you think? Take a look at the regulars. They're all rogues, cutthroats, and smugglers.
Would you prefer the noble elite?
Well, I didn't want to attract any unwanted attention, but the hopping hair never really caught on.
Devil's Den sounds better anyway.
Maybe so, but it doesn't really instill trust in folks.
Can I ask you something?
Of course. What about?
So the whole inn belongs to you?
Aye. This entire humble abode belongs to me. From the cellar to the shingles.
It must have cost a pile of coin, eh?
Well, I worked my arse off for it.
But not honestly, I reckon, eh?
I honestly work my arse off, but you know how it is. Sometimes you have to make your own luck.
What's new around here, innkeeper?
There's trouble with demons in Old Cudna. There was a great tragedy one time in the mine near there. It's abandoned now. The ground collapsed, and a pit to hell opened up there. There's talk that young Bruttons form a fight club in Horsham. Maybe they'll let you into their circle. And then Smolka came by. She's the one who runs the bathhouse across the street. She said a fella came in, all restless and fidgety, saying he wanted a girl. That he wanted to take her somewhere else, and Smolka wouldn't have it. But when he offered to pay double, she agreed. You know how it is. These days, every groschen counts.
Was he a fucking pig?
If only that.
So what did he do?
The girl came running in all beaten up. Smolka couldn't get her to talk about what happened, but it wasn't pretty. I went to see her. The girl was all blue with bruises. Her knees blooded. Not a pretty sight.
Who was this fella?
The way Smolka described him to me, he must have come with Sigismund's army. Probably a deserter. I've seen a few of those around here.
Have you any idea where I could find him?
Rumour has it he's been sleeping in a shepherd's abandoned dugout, just outside the forest nearby.
I'll take care of him.
I'm glad to hear it. And don't spare him. A lot of scum is coming here, but enough is enough. When you're done with him, go to see Smolka at the bathhouse. She'll be glad to have one less thing to worry about. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. What's new around here, innkeeper?
Well, nothing much. If there was something, I'd tell you.
I'll have a look at the wares.
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, I'm listening. You see? I knew we'd make a deal. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
What will you do now?
We'll give it some thought and see. Hopefully we'll know better when you come back from Liechtenstein.
Who is this Kubyanka, anyway? How long have you known each other?
We were defending a castle and hiding in the woods together. But he was always closer with the devil.
Can he be trusted?
Aye. When he's sober, that is. When he gets drunk, it's better to keep an eye on him. He's known to provoke until fists start flying. Did you see what happened when we first arrived?
You mean how they wanted to cut his throat for cheating at dice?
Aye. It's best not to play with him. You'd be better off tossing your coins straight into a pile of shit.
What should I know about the devil?
Just look at him and you'll know everything. His face reveals it all.
I heard he's a nobleman, but he doesn't look like it.
He's the captain of Znojmo, but it's true that he doesn't care much for noble manners. He has a foul mouth, and he's anything but chivalrous in a fight.
I suppose he's not a pure, kind soul like you, eh?
Certainly not. He's as twisted as a hangman's noose. He can also be bitter and angry as a rabid dog. It's certainly better not to fuck around with him.
What draws you to him, then?
We're both different. That's our strength. I'm in charge when everything goes according to plan. When things go to shit, he takes over. It often turns bloody, but sometimes victory is more important than honor.
Aren't you worried about Catherine?
Do you think I should be?
I don't know. A lone woman in a big city needs to be careful in any case. But when you're stalking Liechtenstein, that can be really dangerous.
No one forced Catherine. She knows what she's doing, and she can take care of herself. Remember how she dealt with the guards at Trotsky? She's braver and more dangerous than half my old band.
Aye, but what if someone tries to...
Catherine sharpens her dagger every day. It's always razor sharp. Whoever tries will regret it sorely.
You said you were going to tell me more about the Devil's former band.
Didn't you say you wanted to find this Liechtenstein fella first?
What if I bumped into one of them by chance on my way to Kuttenberg?
Right. I suppose it's possible. Anyway, only a few fellas out of the whole glorious pack survived the shitstorm, and it's not certain they are still alive. As far as I know, Matthew, Bahuta, Raniak, Janosch, and Eder survived. I only know where to find Bahuta. And maybe Matthew. But who knows?
Tell me about Bahuta first. Who is he, anyway?
Well, Bahuta, he was always in trouble. Angry as a dog and covered in bruises. He and his brother could drink all the beer in the inn. Just the two of them. Then they would make a terrible ruckus.
It sounds like you three would get along well. But you said his brother was dead.
Yes, he died right before Bahuta's eyes. Not pretty. Bahuta has been acting weird ever since. He dropped everything overnight and turned to prayer. as if he was scared of being next in line.
Where can I find Bahuta?
At the rectory in Grunt. He helps out with the church.
Did you ever see him again after they caught the devil?
Yeah, but there was no reasoning with him.
Do you think it'll be different now?
Look, I don't know. Maybe when he hears the devil's back, he will come to his senses. But I doubt it.
I'll go over there and try to talk him into it. There's no harm in trying.
But be careful. Bahuta was never far from giving someone a beating. Maybe he's still got that in him. It was Slavic who kept him from ending up on the gallows because of a fight. Oh, but he's already with the Lord.
Now tell me something about this Matthew fella. Someone with a name like that surely can't be all bad.
The name may be pretty, but he's as ugly as sin. You better not stare at him too much. It is not good for your stomach. He's also a damn willy bastard. People say he likes to rob on trade routes, telling his victims he's collecting tax for the king.
And where do I find him?
I hear there's someone robbing merchants on the roads near Miskovitz. That would be fitting for him. Maybe the bailiff can tell you more. It's practically happening in his yard.
If he's so crooked, why did you take him into your band in the first place?
Nasty characters are more suited to our line of work. It is much harder to convince good people to do bad things.
What about the rest of the band? You mentioned more than one person.
Of course. That leaves Janos, Ada and Raniek. I don't know where they are, but I can tell you about them.
Who is this Adder? What kind of nickname is that, anyway?
Oh, that's easy. He's called Ada because he can't keep his snake in his breeches. Oh, he's Polish. He does not speak our tongue, so only Janos can speak to him, really. But otherwise, he's a fucking hilarious. And when shit gets tough, he can really handle it.
Do you know where he could be?
I have no idea. But if you find Janos, Ada will be nearby. The two of them are practically inseparable.
How am I supposed to communicate with Adder? I don't speak a word of Polish.
Yes, you do. We all say kurwa. You must use your hands and feet for the rest. I always manage, and so will you.
Tell me more about this Raniek.
Raniek has a great aim. Slightly better than me, even. Oh, and that bow of his, I tell you, is a masterpiece. That is how you will know it is him.
How did he get that bow?
How do you think? He won it playing dice. But that was the first and last time he ever won anything. If anyone is really unlucky, it is him. But he would not stop if you were to cut off his hands.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
Oh, I don't know anything about him. Try asking around at inns where they play dice. It is possible he lost his hose in one of them.
Did you ever see him again after the devil was captured?
Oh, just once. He wanted me to lend him money. He did not have any to bet with. But I was skinned and looking for a way to get the devil out of jail. Either way, I told him to fuck off, and he listened to me.
Tell me about this Janos.
Janos? He's from Hungary. He speaks like a Tatar, but at least you can understand him a little, unlike Ada.
And how did he get here? Did he defect from Sigismund?
Not at all. He did something back home, had the gallows waiting for him, so he fled to Moravia. He was having the time of his life until recently. Wine, women, and song. But now he has problems because people take him for a human. But if you knew how he can cook, Give him a dead rat and half a carrot, and he will cook you a 3-course dinner.
How can I recognize this Janos?
Like I said, he looks a bit like a human. He speaks almost like we do, but in a queer way. Where you talk to him, you will definitely notice it.
I'm already liking this Janos. I think we'll get along well.
Janos, why?
I like good food too. Life is always better with a full stomach.
You two will surely get along then. Janos has seen a lot of the world, tasted everything. If you let him, he will talk about it all day long.
Thanks. I'll go and look for them.
They may sound like a bunch of morons as I tell it, but they will be damn useful to us. Good luck!
Your hand cannons have done us more harm than good.
But we shot that mare beautifully. The devil himself couldn't have aimed any better, and he's skilled with hand cannons.
How long have you been a warrior?
I was supposed to be a carpenter, but the job wasn't for me. Most of the time I couldn't even hit the chisel with my mallet. Then I lost my master's money playing dice, so I had to run away. Then I came across a group of mercenaries, and they hired me. Once I got a taste of money, I chose to stay. So, it's been a while now.
Who taught you how to fight?
No one. I was absolutely awful. But I could drink their command under the table, so they let me stay with them. I learned the rest as I went along.
That commander, was it the devil?
No. I only met the devil later, with another band. I've been through several. Once they stop paying, or you run out of things to steal, it's best to go and try your luck elsewhere.
That's exactly what happened when they captured the devil, isn't it? The band broke up.
More or less, but I think he understands. You see? That's mercenary honor.
What honor?
Exactly. There is none.
Why were you the only one of your band who tried to save the devil?
I don't think I could sleep easy if they actually executed that old bastard. Fuck, I know the devil better than I know my own old man. And he still owes me groschen from our last trade. And I take that seriously.
Christ, where did I put it?
How do you know Zizka?
I think I know him from the ambush near Prague.
Who did you ambush?
His men actually ambushed us. Actually, the outcome was quite similar. They jumped us at a bend. Before we knew it, blood was spilled. They killed our whole band. I was the only one to survive.
Just you? How so?
I was so fucked up that as I cocked my crossbow, the bowstring broke off and slashed my hands.
And you still have both of them?
Saint Bibiana must have been watching over me. My gloves came off, revealing bloody gashes on my palms, like Christ himself. I reckon they had fun watching me jump around, curse and flail my arms. So they kept me. I kept that bloody bowstring for luck.
Earlier, you mentioned a bunch of peasants taking up arms against Sigismund.
Aye, a bunch of villagers. But they might be onto something.
How are they trying to fight Sigismund?
Do not imagine anything too grand. Mostly they are just trying to survive. Some time ago, they raided a supply caravan heading to Sigismund's camp. Then the very same supplies turned up with the hungry families in Miskovitz. They are doing a good job. But if they keep stepping on Sigismund's toes like that, he will go after them, and soon.
We could use a band like that.
I agree. But Zizka was against it. You saw it yourself. I promised I would not look for them.
So, what are we gonna do?
Well, I'm not going to break my word. But you did not make any such promise, did you?
Do you know where to look for them?
From what I know, they mostly hang around Miskovitz. It seems they use a secret password to recognize their own.
Password? What password?
Fuck, what was it? Ah, I remember. The fox is in the henhouse.
How did you learn their secret password?
When Dry Devil's band broke up, I was looking for a company to join. Then this one time at a tavern, there was this scrawny, drunken loudmouth going on about the peasants' revolt and shouting out the password for all to hear. Some old woman from Miskovitz slapped that lad so hard his chin hit the table.
Right, so I'm supposed to look for a scrawny, drunken loudmouth.
We have plenty of those already. I reckon you ought to talk to the old crone. I have a feeling she might be the way to get to that. Try telling her the password and see what happens.
All right. I hope I won't get slapped too. I'd like to enter the shooting contest.
A newcomer? I'm always glad to see that. This is a Popinjay shooting tournament, though. Do you know what that is? I set up strawbirds all around here, and you try to shoot down as many as you can.
We used to do something a bit like that back in our village. Although we'd shoot at chickens with a slingshot. Got into all sorts of trouble.
There you go. Then, you'll find this even easier. Strawbirds can't run away. So what will it be? Bow or crossbow?
I prefer a crossbow. I think they're quite fun.
But you haven't even got a crossbow from what I see. I set everything up. I'll even get you some bolts. But in the meantime, you'll need to find yourself a crossbow. One that you can shoot fast, mind. None of them siege beasts.
So this is a popinjay contest, is it? What exactly do we have to do?
There's nothing to it. It's actually pretty simple. You have to shoot down the strawbirds on the range faster than your opponents. Whoever shoots down the most wins. Any idiot can understand the rules, but that doesn't make it any easier. So if you're not feeling too sure, you'd better see how you get on with the beginners first. You may not win as much because the stakes are lower, but you have a better chance.
How did you meet Dry Devil?
For the first time? Not in the best of circumstances, that's for sure. A few years ago, my company was attacked near Olomouc, and he spared nobody except for my noble master.
Wait, what was that about?
We were fighting for Margrave Jobst, and he for his brother Prokop.
Why did he let you live?
Because I shot and killed 2 of his men, and crippled 3 others, before he bashed me over the head.
And he just let you go?
Not a chance. I woke tied up with a splitting headache. Dry Devil was all fired up, betting with his men that they'd boost me up.
And what was the catch?
That fucker took me to the ramparts and said that if I piss and hit the ale pitcher down below, he'd let me go. Otherwise, he'd try to hit the ale pitcher with me. The prick.
Wow. You're quite the sharpshooter, Kabyanka.
You bet I fucking am. But you don't know shit about it.
Teach me something, then. I'll happily pay for it.
It'll take some time. But throw in a bit of coin, and I'll teach you whatever you want.
I saw you shoot. You're bloody fast. I don't get it. What's your secret?
Aye, that's easy to learn. It's just a little trick. And then years of practice.
Show me, then.
All right. Let's get started, then.
God bless you, sir.
I'd like to learn a few...
It'll take some...
Oh, what a mess.
Quick! Whoa! Hey!
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Resting. I've been lugging these sacks for ages now. So I decided to take a load off. But I can tell you, it ain't too comfortable here.
Look, you know you have something sticking out of your forehead, right? It looks a bit like a horn.
A horn? Nobody's called it that yet.
What is it, then?
It's an arrow. Well, what's left of it, that is. A metal arrowhead and a bit of a wooden shaft. It used to be longer, but I broke it off after I nearly took a wench's eye out with it.
What? An arrow? Like, from a bow?
Aye, an arrow. With an arrowhead, a shaft, and a fletching. Simply an arrow.
You have an arrow stuck in your head? Shouldn't you be... well, dead? I've never seen anyone with an arrow in his head who wasn't.
Of course I should be. Dead as a doornail. If it was an ordinary arrow, I'd be pushing up daisies. But it ain't no ordinary arrow.
Oh? And what's special about it?
Always questions all of a sudden. How about you tell me who you are first? Talking to strangers ain't the safest these days.
I'm Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Skalitz.
Oh, fuck. I heard about Skalitz. I heard it was real bad.
That it was.
Well, at least you got out in one piece. Look, the name's Karel. Folk call me Karel Arrowhead. On account of, well, you know.
How come the arrow didn't kill you then?
Because it ain't no ordinary arrow.
You said that already.
Thing is, it's a magic arrow.
Yeah, right.
You don't believe me, do you? Sometimes I get mixed up in, let's say, some confrontation. And sometimes things get a bit dicey. I was always getting beaten up, wounded, battered. But ever since I had this arrow in my noggin, not a damn thing. No wounds, no bruises. Nobody can hurt me. They haven't a chance.
Well, that could very well be a coincidence. You're just lucky.
It ain't no coincidence. It's a gift from God. This arrow here blessed me.
Doesn't it hurt? Looks like a nasty wound.
Look, when God blesses you, you accept it for what it is.
So does it hurt?
Hurts like hell. And it fucked my eyesight up a bit. But that don't matter. It's still a gift from God.
Do you think it could be taken out? Can I touch it?
If you touch it, I'll rip off both your arms, shove them up your arse, and make you clap.
Easy! Easy now! I was just asking. No need to get upset. You're worried I'd get the magic too, eh?
No, I'm worried that you wouldn't march and step, and I wouldn't like that.
Why do you think God chose you to be blessed? What did you do to deserve it?
Well, I suppose all them good things what I did in my life. I take care of my people. I'm a good person is all. I reckon God's pleased with me.
I understand. You're simply undefeatable.
Exactly, lad. A whole year without a scratch. A whole year. And me and my lads got ourselves into some dodgy situations, I'll tell you that. But enough chat. I've got to get back to the camp. I've got a proposition for you. You lug one of them sacks here for me, and we can talk some more along the way. What do you say?
And what's in it for me? Will I get a reward?
You youngsters is all the same. You should help your neighbour without wanting nothing in return. Like a proper Christian, eh?
True. But good deeds won't buy me an ale at the tavern.
All right, then. If you help him with the sack, I'll throw a few groschen for beer your way.
What's in these sacks, anyway?
Just stuff what folk leave lying around unattended. These days, everyone locks up their cottages. Sties, coops, and who knows what else. They keep their valuables in their chests. Folk are plenty nervous. And then, they go and leave a couple of sacks of charcoal lying around outside. And when you see something lying around, it'd be a sin to let it get rained on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Wet charcoal doesn't burn very well. Good thing you took it. And what are you going to do with this charcoal?
What do you mean? It's charcoal. It always comes in handy. So, will you help me?
Well, I can't let you lug them all on your own.
Glad to hear it. Them sacks are heavy as fuck, but I couldn't just leave them behind. Man can be invincible, and blessed by God, but 2 sacks of charcoal is still 2 sacks of charcoal.
You're probably not a monk, are you? What are you, then? A bandit?
Ha! A bandit? Don't sound too good when you say it out loud. Bandit. Do you know who the real bandits are, in my opinion?
I don't.
Them lords, what hold their protective hand over us. They stuff themselves to bursting, hunt in the forests, start wars, and the ordinary folk has to do all the work for them. And when you get in their way, they string you up or beat you like a dog. Not even the worst bandit behaves like that. That's what people should be whipped for in the stocks, not for hunting a deer in some noble's forest, or picking something up here and there. We're just trying to survive is all.
How do you manage to survive?
That depends. Sometimes out of breath, are you? Pick it up and let's go. We're almost there. We don't have all day. Pick up the sack and let's get going. Christ.
Son of a bitch. Where? Where do you think? At the mill. I was there with Tucker, Jura, to sell some goods we picked up at the ford that time.
That dirty bastard. Hope you didn't talk to him.
No. Well, not really.
So you did talk to him?
I, well, a little.
I dropped that sack over there, but look here. Don't you mind just leading me right into your camp? What if I let slip that you lot are here?
Why would you do that? You wouldn't get any reward for this band of nobodies anyway.
I suppose not.
Thanks for the help, lad. I'm glad you happened by and stopped to talk to me. Not everyone is willing to help. It's a rare sight these days.
I'm glad to be of help.
Here's some ale money. And I wish you good luck in these wild times. May God's favor be with you. But now, you should get going. The fellas get nervous when there's strangers around. The Lord be with you.
No. I thought as much. Look, do whatever you want. I couldn't care less.
You have a nice camp. What's life like here?
And who the fuck are you to care so much?
I'm Henry.
What are you doing here, Henry? You didn't choose the best place for a stroll.
Don't worry. I was just about to leave. I helped Karel, the fellow with the arrow in his head. I helped him carry a sack here.
Of course you did. Just more shit we don't need. Our Karel loves to steal things you can't eat or drink. Worthless shite.
Well, I think there was coal in that sack. At least you'll be warm when winter comes.
Haha. I hope we'll be long gone before winter comes, and some lumps of coal won't be worth shite.
What about Karel's invincibility? That can't possibly be true, is it?
I see he's been running his mouth again.
He mentioned it.
He likes to mention it. Just by the by. But it's true. He used to be a walking disaster. Always sick, injured all the time. But then that arrow hit him, and it changed him. It was some kind of magic. Nobody can beat him, and it saved our skins a few times. Thank God. You could say, without Karel and the magic of that arrow of his, we'd all have been dead long ago.
What's life like here in the forest?
What kind of fucking question is that? What do you think life's like in a fucking forest? Life's shite for all the people you see here.
Is it really that bad?
Well, we're not exactly starving, but it's definitely no fucking feast. Karel is like some fucking priest. He's always saying, we don't need much, that we mustn't be greedy. So we're not greedy, and we don't have much. That's the final score. But, hey, what can you do? All of a sudden, he's the boss. You have to listen to the boss.
Here you go. Take it.
God, that looks like a bloody expensive.
What was I just thinking about?
Put that weapon away! God be with you.
What would you like?
Greetings, blacksmith. How's it going?
What can I say? It's all shit. I'm getting old, and my hammer feels heavier with every passing day. But my apprentice Matthias, on the other hand, that lad could outdo many a fancy weaponsmith. Just look at this dagger he made me. Have you ever seen such fine work?
Pretty good work. For a village blacksmith. I expected worse.
Village blacksmith? What are you yammering about, you horse face? You've never seen anything so fine in your entire life.
Oh, calm down. I'm telling you, I've been forging daggers like this with my father since I was a young lad.
Know what, you master of masters? I bet my apprentice is a better blacksmith than you. What do you say?
How would a bet like that work?
You'll give me a few groschen as a deposit and forge a hunting sword. Matthias is just working on one now. And if you forge a better one, you'll get both swords and they'll give you back twice as many groschen.
And of course, you'll be the judge, right?
Well, of course. But I'll decide fairly, don't you worry.
And what if my sword isn't better?
Then you lose and I keep the groschen. What else? Am I supposed to stick them up my arse? Do you take the bet or not?
I accept. I'll knock you down a peg and make some money while I'm at it.
You haven't won yet, Master Blacksmith.
Pampering this on.
I'll never finish it like this. I should move it.
almost finished. Good. That looks finished.
May God give you health, sir.
Oh, what do you need, sir?
I brought you the hunting sword.
Aye, I saw you work. You shouldn't hunch over the anvil so much. Your back will ache when you're as old as I am.
Right. Thanks for the advice. Can we get on with our bet?
All right, all right. Wait here. I'll go and fetch Matthias, and we'll see which one of you is the better blacksmith. Well then, let's see what you made.
Feast your eyes.
What about you, Matthias?
Here it is, master.
Let's see here. That's impossible. Such balance. I'm sorry, Matthias, but his sword is better.
What?
Listen, lad. You're wasting your talent here. If you're ever in Kuttenberg, ask for Nicholas Crondell. He's the best armorsmith in the region. He might take you on as his apprentice.
Thanks for the advice. But where's my prize?
Here's your money.
Thank you kindly, master. And you, give me the sword.
What? Forget it. That blade of yours will fall apart any moment anyway. It may look nice, but if we're fighting with them, I'd slice you to ribbons.
Take a good look at me, you yokel. You really want to fight me?
I'm looking at you, all right. But all I see is a loudmouthed chicken shit. So, are you going to fight or shit yourself?
Very well. If you want to get your ass kicked on top of all that, I'll be happy to oblige.
Don't get too cocky now. We'll see who'll be picking their teeth up off the ground.
Break a leg, Matthias.
You're mine! I yield. Mercy.
I hope he doesn't hurt anyone else.
We're done here.
Did you really have to come and rub it in my face like that? I know I lost.
You may know it, but you haven't paid. I believe you were supposed to give me your sword.
Here, choke on it.
Nothing special. But maybe I'll get a few groschen for it.
I hope someone stabs you with it.
Fucking hell. What would you like, sir?
What do you have for sale? Let's talk about the price.
Finally, Thank you, sir. And come again. Put away that weapon. Ah, that'll do. There. That'll do.
All right. This is already sharp.
Deal. Put that weapon away.